This video will explain why it's important for those who are involved in the land development, home building, and commercial construction industry to understand the odd similarity between a general aviation aircraft engine and land development. Since the 1940s, aircraft engines and the land development design have remained virtually the same today. The question is why? It is the fear of litigation. If a new idea or technique does not work, both the engine manufacturer and the civil engineer who adopted the new idea or technique will be sued. We have been fortunate to own a Piper Malibu in the past, which is without doubt the pinnacle of piston aircraft available today. Imagine cruising at 245 miles an hour in quiet, pressurized, air-conditioned comfort at the same altitudes that commercial jet airplanes fly in the luxurious cabin with over a 1,500-mile range. The beautiful aircraft is an exciting design both inside and out, with the best avionics and conveniences in the marketplace. Yet, we need to talk about the fuel management and throttle control which have remained unchanged in the industry since the 1940s. The pilot who is lucky enough to fly this aircraft must manually switch the fuel tanks, manually control the propeller speed, and actually manually control the fuel and air mixture while trying to fly the plane. This is true with virtually all piston engine airplanes, with very few exceptions. This is made more obvious when we look at an aircraft engine for a Beechcraft Bonanza from 1947 compared to the modern Malibu engine today. We are using the Piper Malibu as an example, from the fact that we were lucky enough to own one. But more importantly, this example applies to almost every general aviation airplane flying today. The reason aircraft engines and management of them are stuck in the twilight zone of time is the fear of litigation. If the aircraft manufacturer automated these manual tasks, and the tasks failed to work, the resulting lawsuits would be enormous. If a general aviation aircraft has an accident or incident caused by pilot mismanagement, the bulk of the litigation is more likely to go to the pilot instead of the manufacturer. So, you're probably asking yourself, what does any of this have to do with land development? When we look at a plat submittal from 1947 and one from 2025, they are essentially identical, similar to the aircraft engine comparison. And much of this has to do with fear of liability on the part of the civil engineer ultimately responsible for the design of the development being submitted. An example where fear may come into play is strictly following the absolute minimums of a city and not straying outside convention to assure quick approvals. Should the engineer try something new, and that new idea does not work, they fear the retribution and liability if something was to go wrong. This is a major reason why land development doesn't change. Now let's take a look at the technology used on the 1947 plat submittal and the technology that's used today. A 100 lot development with beautiful curved streets. To compute the geometry took several weeks in 1947 versus about a minute using technology available today. Another reason for stagnation is that all leading software companies provide tools for the consulting industry to automate their tasks are based on methods of the past. If creating a new form of design is outside conventional minimums-based regulations and a more organic and efficient design, there is no CAD automation that addresses this more advanced form of land development design that can streamline the civil engineering process. Hopefully, this presentation demonstrated the correlation of stagnation between piston aircraft engines and land development design. There is an entirely new era of growth made possible by innovative methods and technologies that promise huge change, reducing economic and environmental impacts while increasing living standards which comply with the existing regulatory minimums. By complying with existing regulations, it eliminates the fear factor of liability, but there is a roadblock to enacting this change, and that introduces the next problem: complacency.